Even though this episode dropped last week, I have been processing it for a week. That wasn't on purpose, but let's talk about it. You know, the cast kept talking about how this episode was the episode to look out for, the episode to expect the worst. I can't lie to y'all, this was the worst. Let's get the adult storyline out of the way. Misty and Nat's interaction in this episode in the cafeteria devastated me. Nat looking at her being like, are we all like this? Yes, all of y'all are. I can't. Adult Shauna. Ooh. The parallels between Shauna in the adult storyline versus the past storyline is just beautifully crafted. I can't explain that enough. Seeing the development of her character thus far has been such a treat because she is one of the most complex characters. This whole time we've been witnessing past Shauna saying that she doesn't want to have this baby. And then we see adult Shauna with this other child that is clearly not the wilderness baby. And seeing how life and her perspective has changed throughout these years. We didn't know what happened to the wilderness baby, but in this episode we found out very fast. Ty Van moments, I live. I told y'all, they're my favorite lesbians, oh my gosh. Any moment with these two, I'm like, let's eat. And Misty being a chaotic mess, as per usual. Let me just say, they couldn't hoodwink me this episode. I knew what was going on. They looked too happy. It immediately reminded me of when Jackie had that moment right before it was revealed that she died, when they're all standing around her and they give her like food basically, and she takes the food, she drinks, and she's in a happy place. And then you see the man in the cabin. So you're like, oh no, she is dying in this moment. But you can immediately tell that something is wrong because everybody was so happy. And I knew that Shauna couldn't carry this baby full term. Being as malnourished as they are all starving. There's no way that eating Jackie's body would have fulfilled that nutrition for her to give birth to a full, healthy baby. That was not supposed to happen. I knew that this sequence was untrue and it was so heartbreaking. God, but everybody's performance in this episode was amazing. But let's talk about Sophie NELISSE's performance. She really broke my heart. From the sequences where she's knocked out and she's having these happy moments with this child, first breastfeeding the child, and then having these nightmarish things happen, like thinking that they ate the baby, or thinking that Lottie is plotting on the baby, too much. But I also thought about how they were giving up things to sacrifice. I don't think it was just to save the baby. It was supposed to save Shauna. I'm sure somebody else has said this already, but I'm like a week late. Also, Coach being completely useless. Oh my god. So yes, Shauna almost dying and losing the baby is in fact worse than them possibly eating the baby in theory. I'm sorry, but this was haunting. When she's looking at everybody, she's like, you don't hear him crying? And then she looks at us? Chill. I'm so sad that I'm gonna miss this recent episode. I'm just gonna have to wait till Sunday. This show